Alright, so it's been a couple more days. It's Saturday. I'll probably upload this video later today. Just kind of an update on what's been going on. Major engine issues. Got a call from Bia. She was on the way to her store to grab some food. This hose blew and had leaked all of the coolant all over the engine. And she found out because the heater all of a sudden was blowing ice cold air from outside. Luckily, she was also watching the temperature gauge and it started to rise. She pulled over, turned it off. So we spent a few hours trying to replace the stock hose and fittings. Not even joking, like 2 hours trying to replace these like quick connect fittings and everything that they had. They're like made out of plastic. Ended up after a while just saying, you know what, screw it. Got a regular heater hose, 2 clamps, done. Took us probably 5 minutes or something like that to put on after we went with that idea. Sometimes you just got to go old school. Outside of that, vehicle's back up and running. This one was also down probably for the past week or so. Reason being, front right tire had a huge leak in it. And the sidewall, unfortunately, whole can of this slime stuff did nothing. It just blew out the sidewall. After reading the can, it says doesn't fix sidewall tears. Guess I should have read that first. But we went with a local company called C-Bar-R, and they're repairing this for us. Already got in the back of the truck. Just need to install it now. Should be super easy. Next thing I'm not looking forward to is the rear left tire has a huge leak in it too. So it looks like it's time to finally repair these tires. I don't really feel comfortable with plugs because this thing carries a ton of weight, quite literally. Let's see. Oh yeah, also, because of this snowstorm that we've been having, this is the first day it melted, I had to run the generator for the first time in weeks. It was a great feeling, you know. Being able to say weeks, really. But also that I have a generator that I can just go run in the emergency situation, like it's always intended, right? So the cloud cover was so dense, my solar system didn't keep up because my power draw is pretty constant. I game a lot, watch a lot of movies and stuff like that in the evenings, you know, after dinner. But other than that, that's what this is for. So I have it hooked to a giant Napa battery charger, which is a cart. It's about this high off the ground, probably 3 feet tall. That charges 24-volt systems at 15 amps. And it has a 2-hour timer, and we ran that a couple times. And it was able to keep up with our draw inside, keep all of our food good. We ran out of propane, got it filled. Not even a big deal at all. These tanks are really nice. They last a long time when it's just for our heater right now. And solar panels are still holding up great. They're actually self-cleaning. I can't believe it. In a certain circumstance, anyway. It was snowing out here. They were covered with snow. I had brushed it off with this broom like 5 minutes prior when the snow had stopped. Then I came out, saw tons of snow, and I was like, whatever. I guess it's going to be one of those days, right? Just left it covered. Then, sun came out, melted the bottom layer. Whoosh, all of it slid down, was right here. I had like 95% self-cleaned solar panels. It's pretty awesome. So I'm excited with this angle. It was able to do that without an issue. So that's really nice. I think that's all that's really happened. You know, the heater thing was pretty scary, especially when it's about 20 degrees outside and you don't have a heater. You know, so that was about the biggest thing this week. Other than that, it's just keep on going inside. We're trying to seal up all the insulation and get going on that. We're still behind, but what are you going to do when it snows outside and it's like 7 degrees at night, you know? Nope, I lied. Something else awesome happened. Okay, I may have bought another tiny little building. So it's 10 by 12 feet. I got it super cheap from the cabin company in town. Same one we have the other 2 structures from here. Build quality's okay. The main thing is, got a deal on it. $350, got it to my property and leveled. Now what I'm going to use it for is growing seedlings. It's almost that time of year. I'm so freaking excited. I need to start growing things. I need plants and stuff coming up everywhere. So this is going to help jumpstart it. I have a couple little seedling boxes, and now I got a mini greenhouse with giant windows. So these are double pane windows already installed too, which is a huge bonus because most of the windows that come out of this place are always single. That was a huge point for me. Also, it's only $2,000 total, and it's $100 a month. Not really bad. So I'm hoping that over the next 2 years, this will become a main source of, I'll probably kick a chair for me in the corner, maybe a power source out here, single battery, just to charge some stuff. But mainly, I'm going to be growing a lot of seedlings in here. You know, it may have been a little more than I wanted to pony up for a seedling house, but for $100 a month, I really can't say no to that. Greenhouses, and they're even pretty crappy ones, run at least $500-600 for this size. I mean, even if you're talking the full size, at least $1,000. And that's something that's pretty flimsy, you know. This lets enough light in that it'll protect it in the summer from the afternoon sun and direct heat, and should let enough in the morning hours to get the job done. I'm just hoping that it'll be a good investment over the next couple of years and pays for itself in crops. Justin the llama's back. At least he's staying a few hundred feet away from my stuff finally. This just reminds me I got a couple more things to do as far as like tree planting and defense from local predators. Justin the llama. Okay, one more thing I forgot. Wind. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that wind is insane where I am, okay? Not sure if you remember, but there was a giant ditch right here. It's completely filled up. Also, it's now created another giant hole, apparently. And if you go see where we installed the conduit, I had this covered like up to here with sand. You can now see the elbow join. So, the sand filled in a ditch 6 feet long by like 2 feet wide by 2 feet deep, plus another like foot of sand all the way over here, burrowed out a channel here because it hit the flat, and dug up all my conduit and undercut the building again on this skid. I don't know how to deal with this, but it's going to be a huge windbreak of some sort. That's the only thing I can think of. Another project for another time, I guess. I'll just keep backfilling it till I get it done, I guess. Almost forgot something very amazing. So you'll see all the shininess up here. We have the attic space completely covered and foiled off with a vapor barrier tape, okay? We have a huge issue with moisture and drippiness. You see all these lines here. Because this is a converted shed, alright? It's not an actual house, residential cabin made to be a house. It's just a shed. There's no actual vapor barrier. That is the actual outside sheathing, essentially. It's not that plus a vapor barrier plus outside siding, okay? Because of that, we had all these problems with dripping cabin. Also, the heater that we used to have, not this one, was just a standard propane high BTU output with no exhaust venting at all. It dumped moisture into the air. Because of that, plus the fact that all this insulation was just free hanging, not stapled together, not tight essentially, all of the hot air was getting behind the insulation and then cooling down when it hit the siding or the roof paneling, and then condensing into moisture at a really accelerated rate. Now, with the two things that we've done, one, we've replaced the heater to a direct vent propane so that it actually has an exhaust port going out through the back, and most of the byproducts of combustion minus heat are exhausted out of the house, including the moisture, which is a huge deal. The second thing we've done is start to tighten up every single seam. I know this is ridiculous, okay? This would never be done normally. You'd instantaneously insulate and then drywall, and this wouldn't be a problem because you're going to do this on the drywall. But we have a situation here where we can't do it all in one step. And so what we're trying to do is just tighten it up as we can. Hopefully, crossing my fingers here, this will be the complete solution. And with summer coming and the low humidity we have, it will dry up the rest of the structure and stop the dripping forever. Yes, really exciting that the dripping stopped. It was a huge issue, very scary, but it's nice to know that it was self-induced and we can fix it and are in the middle of fixing it without issue. Now that's what I call sticking. We've already been out messing around in the snow, left some tire tracks, and guess what? They're all filled. Time to bust out the sled. But first, I gotta find some warm clothes after lunch. Not gonna be exciting, but it's still fun. Alright, cross your legs. Okay, ready? Here, get your glasses. Huh? Your glasses, make sure they're attached. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Lean against me.
Go.